Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Faith Podcast. It's your host, Jasmine Todd, and we have an incredible episode today with Kiara Parker, aka Miss Parker. Before we get into any conversation, per usual, you know I have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Agogie. Agogie have pioneered the resistance apparel industry, creating pants that have personally taken my training to a whole new level. With 8 resistance bands built in, these pants will increase your training intensity and they're guaranteed to improve your overall performance. Get faster, get stronger, and it's as simple as putting on the pants. How easy can it not? That's so easy, guys. So make sure you get some pants. So once again, huge thank you to Agogie for sponsoring this episode. And get ready to tune in, guys. I hope you enjoy that. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Crazy Faith Podcast. I am your host, Jasmine Todd, and I am here with the beautiful Kiara Parker, aka Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, Miss Parker. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jasmine?
I am doing very, very well. So I'm going to give them a little background on you. I got a little cheat sheet over here. Also correct me if anything is wrong, because you know the internets sometimes don't be updated.
Right.
So our beautiful Kiara here, she went to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. The University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
That's where she went, you guys. As I'm gonna say this to everybody I bring on here, Ducks. She is a short sprinter, specialized in the 100, if I'm correct. Is that what you... Okay. So she specializes in the 100. She has a personal best of 11:02. She represents the United States of America. She went to the 2019 World Athletic Championships, winning bronze medal in the 4x1. She is an 8-time All-American, 2-time NCAA Outdoor Honorable Mention in the 100, and she also holds the program record at the Arkansas, because
the illustrious.
But she does hold the program record in the 60 meters, the 100 meters, and also as a member on the 4x1. A lot of amazing achievements. I got to watch you grow from your time in college to now as a pro, and you have grown so much. And one, thank you for agreeing to come on. I'm excited.
Of course, I would do anything for you. Love you.
Anything?
We'll see.
Okay, so let's dive in. I got a couple fun facts here before we get into the track side of stuff.
Okay.
So Miss Parker here loves to, I see you do your TikTok thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're very active on TikTok. And what is that like for you? What made you get into the TikToks?
Honestly, I just be bored with the pro life, and then being online. Like you don't really do anything else. So taking 10 minutes out of my day to learn a TikTok dance isn't gonna hinder me from. And most times it's stuck in my head until I record it and actually do it. Like the reel that I posted today, that's been stuck in my head for 3 days. And I was like, I have to do it. Like it's only right. And today my teammates, they lifted, and I lift on Tuesday and Thursday. So I was just like, well, I got the time, might as well.
Okay, here's a question. What has been your favorite TikTok dance?
I'm a savage. Yes.
Hey.
Classy, bougie, ratchet.
Yeah.
That's definitely my favorite.
That is definitely a good one. That is
the one that everybody was like, that's the only one. I don't know about none of the other ones, but that one I can do.
That one right there, that's the one that I could do, because
exactly
some of these movements,
sometimes they be doing too much in these TikTok dances. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit too much for me. I'm gonna pass on this one.
I love it. And I also see you got a nickname, Little Mermaid. Is that a nickname you have?
So okay, here's what happened. Back in 2019, I had this bright electric blue hair, and a red streak right here. Because I was planning on going to Peru that year for NACAC, I think it was, or whatever. But I ended up going to Europe for 3 weeks. And over there, the little girls, you know, they love track girls, and they love everything about track girls, and the nails, the hair, the outfit, all of that. So there was, I think I was in Germany, not Germany, Finland. Sorry. Okay. I was in Finland, and a few of the girls came up to me and they were like, "Oh my God, you look like a mermaid." And I was like, that is so cute. I never really thought of that. And my hair, I was like, I love the hair. The hair is what did it for them. So I just kind of stuck with that. And now, and then I had the hair from indoor of last year. Yes. And that was my ultimate favorite. And, you know, I'm gonna continue to wear the wigs, but since I did start my lock journey, I can only go so far with the wigs now, but you never know. We'll see what happens. But I still have a few months left that I can just slap a wig on and run.
I'm excited to see where your lock journey goes. That's what made you decide to change over to the locks?
Well, me and my mom had been talking about it for a while, but she has short hair. And I was like, okay, well, we'll just do it together. Like whenever you do it, then I'll do it. But it got to a point where I was scrolling through Instagram. I was looking through like the locks hashtags and dreadlocks and natural. And I was like, man, I really want to do this. And me knowing me, I changed my hair a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just keep it for a few months, like just to see how it is. And then I'm gonna comb it out and then we'll go from there. So I made a couple of promises to people that I would comb them out after like right around my birthday. So like October, I'll probably comb them out, and then we'll see what happens after that. We never know. I might put them back in, or I might not. So we'll see.
I like it though. I like it. I love the lock journey. I wish my hair was able to do that, but it's not. So I'm gonna let my brother have it. All right, so now we're gonna transition off over to the little track side. So you've had the opportunity to run with some of the best in the world. Against and also yes, okay, look. You've got to compete with the best and also on a relay team with the best as well. Like, that's such an amazing thing. And what has that been like for you, especially that transition from seeing these people in like high school to college to now you're with them?
Man, so let me think. Okay, first time that I got a chance to run with somebody that I competed with from over like at a different school, like people that I like kind of looked up to. So 2018, I believe it was, I got to run a relay with, it was me, Shania Collins, Desiree Bryant, and Jenna Prandini. It was okay. I wasn't nearly as nervous as I was with Allyson Felix. That's something completely different. But I was like, I can't mess up. Like, I love the 4x1, and I've messed up a couple times in the 4x1 because like my freshman year of college, because of like pressure and stuff, you know, that whole freshman thing, life. But but I had learned to compete under the pressure. So it got to a point where I felt like I was comfortable enough to compete with these girls, and I wasn't gonna feel like I was out of place with the girls. So I think that's what started like me really, really understanding how good I can actually be. Because then after that, like one of the coaches told me, like, now that you've made it here, your life is about to change. Like, you don't know this, you can't see this, but I promise you, your life is going to change. And I was like, okay, we'll see. So mind you, that championship, that NACAC was August of 2018. So I had been training that entire summer from USA's all the way to August, and we started back in September, at the end of September. So I was in tip-top shape by the time December came around, which I did end up hurting. I did get I had a hip injury, and then I ran world leading, world's all this other stuff, broke the school record, and that was when, like, it was a shift. And I was, okay, it's like the stock market. Everything that comes up, it comes down. It always, like, you always have a peak. So I didn't realize at the time that was my peak. And if I had realized it, then I would have backed off for a couple weeks, which I did end up having to do because I ended up hurting my knees. I had my cartilage was wearing down in my knees 2 weeks later. So a week before SECs, I had to get those cortisone shots in my knees, both of them. So I couldn't walk for like 3 days. And
oh my gosh,
man. And but that's the thing about my body. It's very equal. And I've learned that throughout my entire, like, even professional, like, till now, my body is very equal. If one side hurts, another side will do just about the same thing. So a week before SECs, I get 4th in the 60. I was pretty upset about that. And I still made finals, but I think I got like 7th in the 200, and I was hurt. I was so upset. And then nationals came, and there was so many problems at nationals, like with my personal life. I was not mentally ready to compete that weekend. And I'm not even going to lie. The fact that I made it to finals and I made it to on the podium, I was like, thank God, because I had never been to NCAAs before, not indoors. And I was like, I want to be an All-American. I want to be an individual All-American. I don't care about anything else. I want to be on the podium by myself, and that's it. But even with all the problems and the issues that I was having personally, I still managed to get 8th. And I was like, you know what? That's all I needed. That's all I wanted. I got on the podium. Yes. I got my individual All-American. And after that, it was like, I felt like a relief. Like, I didn't feel like I had to compete or compare or like, I just felt like, all right, new season, time to start over. Yes. And just moving forward. So then outdoor came, and it was like, I hit rock bottom. I felt like rock bottom. I feel like I hit rock bottom. But I was, and like I said, stock market going down, you got to come back up. So this time, I actually peaked at the right time. And there was some issues going on with my knees and my hip throughout the outdoor. So there was a couple meets where I didn't run a 200, or I wouldn't run the 4x4. I would just like sit out, not run at all. Like, it was just strategically working my way through the season, trying to make sure I'm healthy at the right time. And boom, it was. And I tell this story all the time, and I feel like I have to tell it here too. So, because it's about crazy faith, and yes, I love it. So, NCAA's outdoor, I'm not even gonna worry about SECs, because SECs I got 3rd. Woo, happy. I was happy because I was on the podium for the SECs. Woo, okay. Anyways, NCAA's outdoor. Every year that I've been to NCAA's, or anytime that we go to Austin, we always go to PF Chang's the day, like the first day that we get there. I don't know why. It's like some type of crazy team tradition, but we always go to PF Chang's the first time we get there. So I get my, we always get a fortune cookie. I was like, I'm gonna wait till the very last day before I open up this cookie, and I'm not gonna touch it. Whatever, cool. So I eat my PF Chang's. We go through the week, and boom. Okay, so I've been to all 4 NCAA's outdoor, but 3 years I competed individually in the 100, and 1 year I didn't, my junior year. So I never made it past the first round. And my senior year, I was like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what happens. I'm making this final. Like, if I have to trip somebody at the line, I'm making this final. Like, it doesn't matter. So, and it's so funny because everybody always like realize I'm like the sneak up kid. So I always like sneak in at the very end. Like, I'm always like the last cue or whatever. And I snuck into the final. I was like, oh. Literally the very last cue, it went to the final, like the final heat of the heat. And I was sitting there like, and there's a video of me like, come on, please, just show me. And so somebody, like, it was taking so long on the screen, somebody pulled it up on their phone and I saw it and I was like, this is my year. This is my year. I don't care what nobody says. This is my year. So at that point, I was like, I made it to the final. I don't care what nobody says. I'm about to run my little butt off and y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I don't care what nobody says. I was like, I'm running 10-9 today. I don't care. I don't care. So I'm like, okay. And okay, fortune cookie. We're back to the fortune cookie, okay? Crazy faith. Remember that. Okay. So we're going to the final day and we have to pack up all of our stuff because we got to go home the same day. And my cookie accidentally breaks and I'm like, dang, okay. So now I got to eat it. I got to read the fortune. I got to eat it.
Yep.
So I read it and it says today, what did it say? Today would be like the best day of your life or something crazy like that. Like it was something like today is the day that something is about to happen. Like something crazy is about to happen.
That confirmation.
So we get to NCAA, we get to the day finals. I get 5th and everybody's like, oh, Kiara's not in, like, because it literally, every single point counted in that national championship. Every single point counted.
Girl, so I know.
It was like, Kiara, you pulled through, like you did what you were supposed to do, and you did even better than you were supposed to do.
Yes.
So I was like, they weren't expecting me to get better than 7th. Like I'm
wow.
And I know. And I was like, honestly, this is what I told Wallace, because Wallace was with us the entire time. I was like, during that entire race, I was like, I'm not about to let these people leave me. Like, I don't care what I'm not about to, first of all, I'm not about to sit here and embarrass myself my senior year and let these girls leave me. Y'all thought. So literally the last 40 meters, you can see me like gradually like push myself. Like it's ridiculous. I can literally see like my last 40 meters, I'm like running at a completely different pace than I was my first 60. It was ridiculous. And then boom, run 11:02, break the school record. I'm happy, I'm crying. But wait, still got 4x4. This thing ain't over. So Taylor comes and she runs the 5,000 and she ties the meet for us, because at this point USC was leading because of all their sprints and all the hurdles and all the, because they got a lot. So so Taylor comes and ties it for us, and it literally comes down to the 4x4. So that's why I'm like, thank God for my little, how many points I get? 4, 5? I got like 5 points. I was so excited.
Yes. Them points matter, girl.
Man, but 4x4 comes around. I run the second leg. I split 51. I've never ran anything faster than a 53.
51 is fast. Wait. You split 51?
I split 51. And the thing is, I got out so slow. Like my first 100 was probably in like 14 seconds. Like I'm not, because, but I was like, I know for a fact I can close like it's nothing. But if I get out too hard, if I get out if I run 38 in this first 300, I'm not going to be able to do anything that lasts 100 meters, because I know all of these 7 other girls are going to be dying. They're going to die. So and Coach Johnson was mad because I could have went out a little bit faster, just a little bit. I promise you, I probably could have split 50 points. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If I would have got out just a little bit faster.
You said your first 100 was 14. Yes, you could have gone 50 points, because
I was like, I'm not about to sit here and try to kill myself. And the thing is, the commentary, they were like, Arkansas is getting out a little bit slow. They better pick up before they. I was like, yeah, I was. But the thing is, I know how to run the cut through, and I was in like lane 6 or whatever. So I slowly but surely opened up that 100 and ended up being in like 4th place by the time the 200 came around. So I was like, I'm in it. And now I'm like less as tired as they are, because they wanted to sprint the first 200 meters. And now I'm right here with y'all. And now what?
Hello.
Now it comes down to the last 100 meters. Who has the and I think I kept it in like 4th. I passed it off in 4th to Peyton, and then boom, Peyton's leg, boom, USC drops the stick.
And I remember that so vividly too. I remember that.
Girl, it was like there was, do you know, relief. I was on the ground, so I didn't see it until Paris came to me, our first leg. She came to me and was like, get up, come on, get up. You gotta get up. Because I was like, what's going on? They just dropped the stick. Come on, you gotta get up. So I'm like, oh my God. So now at this point, it's just between us and Texas A&M, and Sierra is on the last leg, and we already like 10 meters behind. And Kathleen, she can run a good 400, but there's only so much that you can do. So, but regardless, we were like, we won. And that whole like I said, I tell that story so many times because of that fortune cookie. It was like, the Lord was telling me, you waited to open this thing for a reason. I gave you this fortune for a reason. Your life is about to change like nothing you have ever seen before. So, and then we're still going through. Then comes that USA's. That USA's was terrible because we had a month and a half in between the times that NCAA's was and USA's.
The longest that has ever happened.
Oh, I didn't have my passport. I lost my passport in the move that I had just done in that December. So I couldn't go overseas because so I was raceless and like for that month and a half. And I was in shape, yes, but I hadn't raced. So my speed was off, my quickness, I was not there. So I ended up getting out in the second round. I think I got like 15th place or whatever. But my agent was like, so here's what we can do. We can either send you to Peru and like call the season, call it quits, or we can send you to Europe and we can, like, you can race, like you continue to race. And I was like, I'm not ready to be done yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass up on Peru and go ahead and run overseas because that's what I've always wanted to do. So I'm not gonna, I don't care about NACAC. I could care less. Exactly. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and go to Europe and compete over there because I don't want to be finished yet. I don't want to stop. So I'm not going to. So I ended up going to Europe, and I had 5 track meets. I'm not gonna lie, I can't really remember every single place. I went to one place twice, and then Ireland. I went to Ireland, Finland, Ireland, and then 2 other places that I can't really remember, but it's okay. Oh, Madrid and Italy. Those were my last 2 places. Yes, I don't know how I could forget about those. Madrid was my favorite track. It was the bright green track. I loved it. Yes. And then Italy had the bright blue track. Yes. And I ended up wearing my USA uniform to that one because I was like, I've been wearing Arkansas stuff for my first 4 meets. I'm ready to do something else. Like, I'm ready to show I'm done. Like, I'm not done with Arkansas, no, but I'm like separated from Arkansas. I'm ready to start running on my own now. So after Italy, I actually get a call from USATF to run in Belarus for what was that track?
Europe versus USA.
Yeah, Europe versus USA. That's what it was. Girl, I just it just be going over my head. I can't help it. But they actually called me and was like, so we sent you a kit for Peru and we know that you couldn't go, but how about you use that kit for USA versus Europe? Of course.
They're smart. Okay.
Right. Of course. Like, at this point, I'm into race shape. I've ran 11.2 at this point. Like, I'm back into race shape. I'm ready to run now. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I would love to. So they're like, all right, so we'll send you on a flight next week. And like, literally, I got home from Europe and then I went straight back to Minsk. And it was just like, crazy. But I ended up running the 4x1 and the mixed medley. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So 2248. And that's where you see this picture, Exhibit A. The illustrious Allyson Felix, the amazing, the most decorated of all time. And then me.
And you know, look at you. That right there, honestly, I have to say, the moment I think it's such a pivotal moment for all the younger athletes when you get to pass baton, receive a baton, or even work with Allyson to that nature. You're there. So
first of all, she posted me on her page. I was like in tears. Like, on the plane, I have a picture of me crying. Like, because I was like, oh my goodness. Really, I'm gonna have to send you the picture so you can show them, because literally I have tears.
Oh my goodness.
Because what happened was I was on my plane on the way back to America, and I had just landed and people were sending me messages, but I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. And I was looking and I was like, I couldn't breathe. Tears were literally falling down my eyes. And I was, during that entire race, I was like, I can't mess this up. I can't like not give it to her in a good position. I can't. There's nothing that I wouldn't feel right. Right. It would be like I would be the one to mess up her streak. I could not do that.
I cannot be the one. It will not be me.
It will not be me. So I actually split like 22.5. And the thing is, my PR in the 200 is a 23.02, 23.03. So I'm like,
you was rolling.
Oh yeah, I was running my little heart out because I was like, I'm not gonna mess this up. That was my thing. So that happened, and that was another pivotal point, because I always say, believe in yourself so much that other people have to believe in yourself too. So I don't know, were you in Belarus?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So the relay coach, Miss Michelle, Coach Michelle, me and her, we've gotten really close since 2018, since I first started working with her. And I was talking to her, I was like, look, I don't care that I got 15th at US Days. That's just it. Fourth, the places that got 4th through 15th, they're done. They've passed up. They're shutting down. They're done. They're not doing anything else. Number 16, I'm right here. Like, I don't care if you need to call 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through 15. 16 is right here. I don't care if I need to be training for the next 2 weeks. No. I told her, I was like, I will be training for the next 2 weeks. If you need me, call me, because I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. So
I love it.
And that's literally what it was. Like, I sat her down, because I think we were celebrating somebody's birthday. I think it was Queen. We were celebrating Queen's birthday. Yeah, Queen Brittany. Yep. And we were like, and me and Coach Michelle was just sitting there eating our little cake. And I was like, look, I'm not gonna eat much of this, but I'm just letting you know. Call me if you ever need me, because I'm right here. I'll be right here. Eating my little cake, just casually slipping it in there. And literally, we got home that Monday. That Friday, I got the call saying, would you like to come to Doha? Would I? Is that even a question? Like, I already told you.
Want to go to the World Championships? Yes.
Right, of course. I was like, I already told you. I already told you I wasn't stopping. So of course I would love to. Like, what do you need me to do? Like, because I was like, if you want, I told them 100 or the 4x4. I'm down for either one of those. If you need me to run anything, I got you.
I love that. Like, this story displayed such amazing, crazy faith, which is the purpose of this podcast. And even from the fortune cookie, girl, you telling me that story, I really did get chills, because that stuff happens. And when you get those little things of confirmation, and then you just start to see it happen, that it's a whole feeling.
Because like, nobody had even picked me up. Apparently nobody was really interested. And I was like, I mean, ASICS was interested, yes. But you know, Adidas and I didn't want to sign with Nike anyway. But Adidas, Puma, and New Balance, they were all like, you need a little bit more. Like, you need more in order for us to want to be with you. And ASICS was like, we're willing to build with you. Like, we're willing to pick you up from here and build you up and make a name for yourself. And that's what I really appreciated when I first talked to them at Doha, when I went to their base or whatever. We got to talking, and I was like, I really just want to be able to express myself and be myself and not feel like I'm constricted, because in Arkansas they were very traditional. So like, the crazy hair, they didn't like that. So that's the reason why I always did red, blacks, and blondes. Like, I never did anything else crazy. And the uniforms, they were so like traditional. Like, we had to literally beg them for new uniforms. Like, it was ridiculous. But I wanted to be able to express myself. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted. I wanted to be able to like be lively and be excited, because that's who I am. I'm a very happy person. I'm very upbeat. I'm very like, it's very social. I'm exactly. And everybody knows this. So it's just like, for me to like, I don't want to be constricted under like a little box. And ASICS, they do such a great job of letting you express yourself in your own way. So we're continuing on to October 2019, where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get signed. I don't know, blah, 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 this, that. And people were like, people who had already gotten signed, people who were in TPP, Lena, Irby, Shakari, like Amir, all of them, they were all like, here, you're gonna get signed. Like something's gonna come up. Even if it's not what you want, like you're gonna get something. Like don't beat yourself up over it. Like something's gonna come. And I was like, okay. So literally, my birthday, I'm on a cruise. I go to Mexico for my birthday of 2019, just to like celebrate all the accomplishments of the year and all that stuff. I just wanted to get away. This is my only break that I was really going to be able to have. So I was like, let me get away, all that stuff. So literally on my birthday, I'm landing in, where was I? One of the stops in Mexico. And I'm getting text messages because I got international data. And so I'm getting text messages, and a message from John comes through, my agent, and he's like, happy birthday, Kiara. Call me when you can. Like, call me when you get this message or whatever. So I'm calling him. And he's like, so happy birthday. We got you a contract. And I'm like, what? Like, what?
Happy birthday. Hello.
Right, on my birthday. Man, and I was like, no way, you gotta be kidding me. I was so happy. But literally in my contract, like it had everything I wanted. If 2020 had been a different year, I'll get to that in a second. If 2020 had been a different year, I would have been at a different level than I am right now. But you know, life. So my birthday, I get the call saying I'm signed to, well, A6 is offering me this, and this. And I'm like, I like this. And I like A6, and A6 likes me. And we already bonded. Like we over in Doha, like we literally like played boxing and like did all this other stuff in the room. And then I was trying on shoes. Like it was like, cause I had never ever looked at A6 before. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'd never tried on their shoes. I'd never tried on their spikes. I was like, A6, really? Like, before I knew, I was like, really? A6? But let me tell you, A6 got some drips for sale, okay? Because look, I got the whole Tokyo suit on, and this, let me just show up. Look, Tokyo, and then on the, hold on, wait. I gotta show the back of my leg too, because it's nice. Look at that. The A6 got some drip for sale. Okay, look.
So upset.
So, because I wanted you to see the whole Tokyo suit. Okay.
That is hilarious. No, honestly, they really do got some drip. People be sleep, like, don't sleep on
man. Y'all just wait till my graduation pictures.
QC.
That's what I'm saying. Wait till my graduation pictures, because I got a cute little man. Who says that we can't run track in skirts? I want to know, because
girl, who's gonna have a dress on at one of these meets?
I will. Hey, because look, because the dresses are really for tennis, but look.
Yeah,
who says I can't wear it? Who says that I can't wear a dress?
Yes, they can't stop us. So
exactly, do
it. I love it. I love to see the different like looks on the track. Come serving looks, okay? That's all.
I would be like Queen Harrison. I want because you know she for A6 too. So we're gonna be like A6 sisters. She gonna see this and be like, girl,
bye.
Right. She ain't gonna be paying no attention to me. Anyway.
I love it. She though. She loves doing and serving the different looks. So
yes, exactly. That's why I'm like, I want to be on her level when I grow up. Like that's the type of stuff I want to be on. But so let's say, okay, 2019, boom, peak. Once again, once you hit the top, you gotta come down. Something always happens. So 2020, my first meet of the year, and it was at Iowa. I ran a 60. I had already been feeling a little iffy. Like my back had been hurting. I felt like I needed to get adjusted every single hour. Like I felt like I needed to get popped. It felt like something was off. I didn't know what it was, but I just kept getting adjusted and kept doing what I could, stretching, all that stuff. And then 60 comes, I run 7:24, and then next one I run 7:25, which is the most consistent I've ever been. First of all, second of all, that's the fastest season opener I've ever had. Like last 2019, my first meet I ran 7:3, and the second meet I still ran like 7:33 or 7:28, something crazy. Like it was nothing near what I opened up with. So I was like, ooh, this is about to be a good year. I already feel it. And we were like, this is Olympic year. This is it. And then boom, the very next day I get home from Iowa and I'm like, I can't lift my legs up. Like I can't, I can't, like something isn't right. I can't walk, like something so that the next day we just do a little shakeout or whatever. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like this don't feel good. So I'm like, Coach Johnson, I don't know. I don't like this. And he's like, okay, we're just doing shake it out. We're just shaking out today. Let's just see how it feels tomorrow. So the next day, like it hurts, but I can warm up. And then when I'm warmed up, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I can go now. And this goes on for like 2 weeks. And then I compete in Texas Tech, which is the very next week of the week before. And I ran like 7:4, and we were like, ooh, what's going on? Because you had just ran 7:2 a week before. Have you been like, were you getting fat? Like what were you not drinking water? Like what's going on? And I was like, Johnson, I told you my back has been hurting. I haven't been able to lift my legs like for real for like 2 weeks now. So, or no, it's been a week at this point. So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, okay, well, let's just go see Bobby and see what's going on, blah, 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 blah. So Bobby is our chiropractor here, and I go get an x-ray on my back, and it shows nothing. Like nothing's wrong. And I'm like, this isn't right, because obviously something's wrong if I can't lift up my legs and I can't like race to my best ability. Something is wrong. So at this point, my indoor season had already been set. I was supposed to go to Europe for 2.5 weeks for track meets or whatever. And I'm like, at this point, my flights have been booked. Everything has been booked. And I'm like, I can't back out of it now because everything is paid for. I need a way to get my money back. So I go over to Europe, and I actually did pretty well considering my circumstances. My first meet, I didn't do great. Like I didn't make the final, but the girl pulled out. So I technically did make the final, but they told me 2 hours after, because they told me like 10 minutes before the event. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have let me know this before. Like I already went home and already started taking off my clothes and already started getting in the shower. Like I had already gotten home. I waited on the bus for an hour and nobody told me. Nobody told me. And I was like, that sucks. So I missed out on that money, and that was gonna help that.
Right.
But after that, like I didn't miss any more finals, which is great. And I ended up making my money back plus some, which was great. But man, but it was like I didn't know what was going on until I got back, and they were like, okay, we'll get you MRI when we get back, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So I got an MRI, and then I traveled to New York because I was like, if I can compete, I'm gonna compete. But if not, then I'm gonna just not. So I went over to Europe, to New York, and literally on the way, like I was on my layover to New York, and I got a call saying, yeah, you have 2 stress fractures in your back. And I cried. I was like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, you have 2 cracks, like almost connecting to each other. So if you would have had like 2, maybe 3 more track meets, yeah, you would have completely broken your back. So I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. And that makes so much sense. And remember when I was telling you that my body is very even?
Yes.
If it happens to one side, it happens to the other. So that was going on. And I literally was out for 9 months. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that leads to this question. Does that mean that 2020 has been a positive thing for you, or?
Yes, because I'm not saying I'm thankful for the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I feel like it gave me a second chance, because I know that I literally got hurt a week. Well, I got the news a week before they shut everything down. Like, wow. Well, not a week. Like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I may be exaggerating, but literally like right before they shut everything down, I found out I was hurt. So I found out I'm hurt. I'm in Japan when they literally shut down the country.
I remember seeing it on Instagram.
Girl, I was like, they had me over there for 2.5 weeks, stuck, stranded, not being able to get back home because they want to keep canceling flights. Girl. Anyways, I'm not even gonna get into that. Girl. But I mean, I had the time of my life in Japan, and I'm going back as soon as I can. But I was like, this is cool. This is nice. I wouldn't mind staying here, but I need a way to pay for something. Like they gonna have to help me out with something if I have to stay here, like training wise or something, because I was getting therapy over in Japan, thank God, and I was working out and I was doing stuff. But when I came back, I was back in a situation of, now you have to be on bed rest. Now you need to calm yourself down because you're doing too much. So I was literally on bed rest for a month, from March to April, or a month and a half. So probably like almost closer to May. So beginning of May, I was on bed rest. I did go out. I had to do PT Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I would do like little stuff, but most times I was at home. I had a photo shoot. That was cool. But after that, I went to Florida, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm getting any better in Arkansas. I need to do something else. Like I need a change of scenery. I need something, because I was going through it. I was going through depression. I was like, I can't run, I can't move, like I'm over here crying in my sleep, like I'm like, it's bad, like I'm like, I can't move, like I'm struggling. So I go down to Florida. I actually drive down to Florida. I have to take like 4 stops because like I can't drive for longer than 6 hours because it's sitting so long and all this other stuff. So I ended up making a bunch of stops to Florida. And that's where I was working with Jerica over the
CJT.
Yes. And let me tell you, she was literally my lifesaver. She nursed me back from 20% to about 80%. Wow. Like she worked her magic, and I'm so extremely grateful for her. I will plug her in at any time. If anybody ever needs like a PT or anything, please hit up Jerica. Like she's one of the best. I will cross my heart and hope to die.
I will vouch for that as well.
Exactly. Like Shout out to JC. But she literally helped me she nursed me back to health. She guided me along the right path. And even now she's still like helping me. If I ever have any problems, like I can just call her and be like, okay, so this, and this is happening. What can I do? And she'll be like, okay, so even though I'm not there to really assess the situation, I can tell you what I would do if I was there. So she does all of that for me. And I'm so extremely grateful and so like thankful for her, because she is one of the people who never gave up on me and didn't leave my side and was like, we're going to get you back. Like, I don't care what happens. We're going to get you back.
I love JC.
And that's why I was like, I'm so grateful for her. But then that happened. And now it led me to November of me having to move back to Arkansas, which I really didn't want to do, but we're not going to get into that. Because, Florida and Arkansas, it's just two different lifestyles. You just can't really compare the two. So it's just like, I didn't want to, but I did it for the betterment of my career. And so far it's been going well. I didn't expect to be where I am right now. Like I was when I first got back, I was dead out of shape. Like couldn't even finish like 8 100s. Like I was so out of it. And like at first I was doing like biking or treadmill every other day, or like mostly doing that type of stuff because I was really, honestly, I was just scared. I was scared to run and put myself through the pain and all this other stuff. So when I did, what I started doing was, I actually got sick. There was a time that I got sick. I actually accidentally drank some spoiled milk. And I was literally throwing up for like 12 hours. Like it was ridiculous. And so Coach Johnson was like, yeah, no, first of all, you need to go get a COVID test to make sure you don't have COVID. And two, you need to calm yourself down before you come back. So during that time, I lost 6 pounds. And the time that I couldn't go to the track because they were like, we're going to wait a few days before, well, I had to wait 3 or 5 business days for my results to come back anyway. But I was going to Lake Fayetteville, which is 5 miles. And I was running that. Like I was doing what I can, but I was still running and walking and working out and doing all of that. And literally during that week, I don't know what happened, but I felt like a change. Like, I don't know if, like, as soon as I got back, it was like practice got so much easier. I don't know. It may have been just because I was running Lake Fayetteville. I ran Lake Fayetteville 4 times in 1 week.
Wow.
So, and it's 5.69 miles. It's not easy. And then there's hills and
long way.
Man, I'm gonna have to get a GoPro out there and show it because it's hilly, it's hard, and it's not for the weak. I will say that till the day I die. Like Fayetteville is not for the weak. But during that week, I ran and then was working out, and I was like, I can't just sit at home and not do nothing. But Coach Johnson was like, if you feel sick, you can't, like, we don't want to make it even like worse, because if you have COVID and you're working out like that, you can make it worse. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go too hard. I'm going to still work out though. Like I can't just sit at home and not do nothing. So I've been going to Lake Fayetteville and doing all that. And then that was when I started feeling like, okay, Kiara, you're starting to get in a little bit of shape. You can start doing these harder workouts now.
Yes.
So that's when I started, like, before I was like, I gotta stop. I'm not going above a certain amount. Like, I'm not doing, like, it was like, I'm not.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it because you're telling me that I can do it. Like, if Coach Johnson he's not going to give me anything that I cannot do.
Yes.
If I can't, like, if I literally cannot do it, then I'll just stop. It's gotten to a point where I have to listen to my body. And if I'm literally feeling that pain, I have to stop. Like, but I have to learn the difference between the pain in my back, like my injury, and just being sore and just hurting. So I've in the past month, I've differentiated that feeling. And I can now tell when, okay, Kiara, you need to stop, like you need to pull out, or Kiara, you're just tired and you need to get your butt up and go to the line. Like that. And that was literally me yesterday.
That's growth.
Yeah, that was literally me yesterday. I had the hardest workout of 2021. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this. And it really wasn't even that hard. I think it was just literally because my workouts from last week. But I digress. Anyways, but yeah, that's literally, I just literally told you my whole life story from 2018 until now. That's how my whole track career, my transition from professional and then working all that answers your question.
Like you answered my question and some. Like you literally covered some of the questions that I was going to ask. So thank you. Like no, I love that. Like you literally gave us the story, and like I said, like halfway through, you're displaying crazy faith with all of this, and I really, really love that. This story was absolutely amazing because you also encouraged me as well. You know, and I be going through stuff. So you gave me encouragement. So I know for a fact that hearing this is going to give other people encouragement, because a lot of people don't get to hear the other side of track and field, where not only like there's the injury side of it, they're missing that contract side of it. Like you were very expressive, and thank you for sharing that side of it, where you know you were concerned, you didn't know if you were going to get that contract. Those are feelings that aren't expressed very often, and as well as you finding that team that fits into your circle that's going to help support you, and you found that at a lot younger age. So I'm so happy you found that at a younger age, and as soon as you did, because that's going to carry you so far in this sport. I do have one last question for you though.
Okay.
My question is, who is, or if there's a couple people, who are your biggest motivators or inspiration?
Okay. So I do have a few. So one is obviously Allyson Felix, like the illustrious, the amazing. I can't, like the GOAT, the one and only. Like you can't. Another one is Ashley Spencer. And I love Ashley. Like I tell her all the time, I would literally do anything for her, because like literally, I don't think she understands like how much she actually motivates me. And even at 2019 Doha, I was freaking out because it was the finals, and she was like, "Here, you got this." Like she was there, like, "Come on, Kiara, you got it." And just knowing like her story, and like her coming from Illinois or Indiana, one of the two. Illinois?
Indianapolis. Wow, there we go.
Yes.
She was the other person that I had a podcast with today.
But yeah, she just knowing her story coming from that place to Texas, and then all of her great things that she's done, making the Olympic team and then medaling at the Olympics, and like literally she was literally just the same way as me, literally snuck in by the the tail. And that's why I love her. I don't think anybody understands. I relate to that so much, because I'm literally the one, like, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna get that last spot. And that's why I really look up to Ashley, because she's a fighter. She never gives up. Even though she's gone against some of my teammates, like the people that I train with now, I still have that love and like push for her, because I want her to be great. Right. But I think other than that, I think like, of course, like Shelly and Fraser, and Dana Asher Smith and all this other stuff, like all those people, like I looked up to them. But those really are the two that I'm like, they are what helped me push, like they helped me push me to be great. Because like I said, Ash's story relates so much to mine. Well, not really, but a little bit. And then Allyson is just Allyson. Like she's just somebody I've been watching since I first started watching track. So it's like, they're just on a different pedestal for me. I can't help it. I can't help it. But yeah, those two are definitely like top of the list for me.
Those are two very, very, very good choices. I actually have one last question, because I asked this earlier on the podcast, and I feel like this is going to be one of my questions that I'm always going to ask. Okay. Now, what group in track and field is the funniest group?
It gotta be us. It's us. Only because Shamir is hilarious. Shamir is hilarious. Nobody can take that away. Nobody can take that Shamir is not the funniest person in the track world. Like, if any, I will go to the death with that. Shamir will crack somebody up in a second, and it'll just be with the way she looks. Like, she'll be looking like, just be like Shamir, and she says some of the funniest stuff, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Like, but I don't know. Besides that, I really don't even, because I feel like everybody else is really lame. Like nobody else really likes to have fun. Besides, like when it's time to party and stuff, like nobody ever really wants to like do stuff and have fun and go out and I mean, obviously COVID, but still, like, let's play Uno. Right. Let's play like virtual Uno or something. I don't know. Like something fun, and I don't know. But I think that we're the best, obviously, because Captain Athletics is, I'm plugging in, I'm doing another plug. Go follow Captain Athletics because we're the funniest group in the track world.
You guys do have a bunch of characters. I will say that. Like, you guys are a good group. That's a good choice.
Like I said, I don't really know too much about other training groups, but if I'm looking at social media wise, who gonna compete? Not nobody to Shamir. I know that. Because
Shamir holding y'all team on the back, okay?
Man. She just be saying stuff. She's just so funny.
Because she really is one of the funniest people in track and field. So
oh yeah. Yes. I always say, if you're not following Shamir on Twitter, you're missing out. Like you're missing out on like the laugh of the day.
Her own show. I can't even hold you. She needs a show.
She needs a show because she just be doing stuff. Shamir is just Shamir. I love her so much.
Well, Miss Parker, thank you so much for coming on to the Crazy Faith podcast, and once again just showing us your crazy faith and your story, your testimony, because I loved it. Yes. Loved every minute of it. And again, thank you for coming on.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Crazy Faith podcast. Once again, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Agogie. With 8 resistance bands built in, Agogie's resistance pants have pioneered the resistance apparel industry, helping increase your training intensity and improving your overall performance. Get faster, get stronger, and it's as simple as putting on the pants. So once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the next one. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, maintain that crazy faith.